Pasting all your materials into OneNote and learning all OneNote features won't get you far. Trust me, I tried. Today I want to share my experience working almost a decade with OneNote in my teaching career. Hello there, fellow educators. When I started using OneNote, I was, like most teachers, excited about the technology, but totally lost in the implementation. I thought throwing all my materials into OneNote and create digital notebooks would magically transform my teaching. Spoiler alert, it didn't. Through years of trial and error, I discovered that OneNote isn't just a digital filing cabinet. It's a powerful learning ecosystem when used thoughtfully. If I were starting today, these are the crucial elements I'd focus on. They say, start with the end in mind. And this couldn't be more true when designing your OneNote. If you simply dump everything into OneNote, everything that might be interesting, your students won't engage with it. Why? Because they'd feel lost and overwhelmed. If your goal is to empower students to take responsibility for their learning process, then the learning path or the learning environment you create must be structured in a way that helps them clearly see what the next step is. Consistency is key here. Design all chapters in a similar way with clear and simple navigation. As the saying goes, less is more. Avoid cluttering your notebook with too many symbols or random designs. Instead, choose a few consistent markers that guide students through the material. For example, you could use a headphone icon to indicate videos and a pencil icon for exercises. This small touch creates clarity and reduces cognitive overload. And use numbering for your pages. Trust me, it helps a lot when you communicate about which exercise you are talking about, and it reduces the searching time for your students. Another important decision is whether you want to create a learning path or a learning environment. A learning path guides students step by step through the material in a specific sequence, while a learning environment offers flexibility, allowing students to explore different paths based on their needs or interests. Both approaches have their merits, but clarity is essential for both you and your students. If this topic interests you and you'd like me to dive deeper into learning path versus learning environment, let me know in the comments. Every student learns differently, and OneNote can help you meet those diverse needs if used wisely. I always offer new information through multiple channels, as text for those who prefer reading, as interactive video for visual learners, and as opportunities for discussion with peers or smaller groups for those who thrive in dialogue. But there is one thing I never skip: active recall. It's a non-negotiable because it's one of the most effective ways to help students retain what they've learned and identify gaps in their understanding. For example, at the end of each lesson, I ask my students to write down in 3 sentences what they've learned in the last hour. In OneNote, I've created a dedicated learning journal section where they can record these reflections. In the next lesson, I ask them to turn to their neighbor and share how many points they can still recall from the previous class. And just like that, bam! We are back into topic and engaging in a low-pressure way. Plus, let's be honest, most students love chatting with their peers. This simple activity not only reinforces learning, but also makes the start of the lesson feel dynamic and collaborative. When designing a learning path or environment in OneNote, I always ask myself, where are my students actually active? What are they doing? And how does this activity support their learning process? Here's a very important note. Passively listening to the teacher or copying notes from the blackboard are not active learning activities. My goal is to include as many elements as possible that require students to actively engage with the topic. even if it's sometimes uncomfortable for them. Why uncomfortable? Because it's during these moments of struggle that they realize what they don't yet understand. And that's okay. It's far better for them to encounter these challenges during class, where I'm there to guide them, than at home while doing homework, give frustration, or worse yet, during the exam when it's too late to address misunderstandings. This approach ties directly into Maria Montessori's philosophy. Help me to do it myself. The more often students experience success in finding solutions on their own, the more confidence they build in their abilities. And let's face it, isn't that exactly what we need today? Confident individuals who trust themselves and their capacity to learn and grow. When setting up your OneNote notebook, remember this. You're not just organizing materials or delivering lessons. You're helping young people take responsibility for their learning journey. And this mindset will stay with them far beyond school. It will shape how they approach challenges throughout their lives. So, take a moment to reflect on this bigger picture when designing your OneNote structure. Every choice you make, from how you organize chapters to how you integrate active recall, contributes not just to better learning outcomes, but also to building empowered learners who are ready to tackle the world. The work we do as educators goes far beyond teaching. We are shaping mindsets and fostering independence. That's why tools like OneNote aren't just about technology. They are about creating opportunities for growth. If you want to learn how, check out the video on the skill match method or join my next live session. Let's keep inspiring our students together. See you in the next video.